in which we're going to explain a little bit more about our placement process for our incoming freshmen. We'll talk about the differences between our levels. And at the end, we'll talk about our process or what you'll do if you want to request more information about your own student's placement or a change in their placement for next year. So we make placements in our 4 core subjects of English, math, science, and social studies, because these are subjects that are required for 1 or more years and in which there's multiple levels of instruction. And our goal for this process is to have every individual student in the right level of instruction for their current skills and their future plans. Please note as we talk through our placement process today that we are not talking about the IEP or special services processes. To reach out and learn more about that, you'll contact Cheryl Russell, and she can tell you more about that process. So now we're going to move more specifically into English. So I'm Mary McCarthy. I am the English chair. I want to talk briefly about the English placement process for the class of 2025. Because of the pandemic, we were not able to do a placement test this year. So our recommendations are the sole basis of our placements for English. In addition to course recommendations, your students' current English teachers gave us recommendations about their skills in reading and in writing. And those assessments were very useful in helping me to determine what students would need specialized support starting in their freshman year. Please note we did not consider uniformly for all students grades or previous standardized test scores like the MAP score. So we did not gather those from the middle schools or consider them in placement. The most important placement question I get asked is between academic and honors, what is the difference? And how would I know whether or not the placement you gave my student is going to be a good fit for their skills? So I want to take a moment just to go over some of those details. And so I've got this in 3 categories. The first being what's the difference in reading, the second in writing, and then the third in overall scope over the 4 years of English, because 4 years of English are required for graduation. So in the first row there, you'll see that in academics, students are going to read multiple long works over the course of the year. They'll read both fiction and nonfiction, and everybody's going to read Shakespeare. And we are looking at most of those texts being appropriate for the 9th grade level, because we know that those students that we placed into academic are reading at grade level, so they're ready for that as they move forward. The difference with honors is we're going to read more. So we're going to read more long works. Students will generally read some of those more independently, because what we know about our honors readers is they're coming in at least a grade level above. So at the 10th grade level, as they're tested as readers. And so we'll be looking at more difficult texts, and we'll be digging deeper into those texts at the honors level. As writers, everybody's going to be writing argumentative essays, but we're going to do more direct instruction at our academic level to refresh their memory of those structures and make sure they have all the rules in mind and are really supported in pulling those essays together. Our honors writers, we're going to expect that they're coming in with more of those structures in hand and more confidence in using them. And we're going to dig deeper. We're going to do deeper analysis in our writing, as well as expect more sophistication in vocabulary and in organization. And lastly, our academic level students are going to be ready for college by the time they finish high school, ready for whatever the literacy demands they're going to face there are, as well as moving into careers in other types of education as they leave high school and go on to their future plans. The difference in honors is that we're going to be moving into an AP, advanced placement class, in the junior year, and that's going to mean they're going to do college level work as juniors, because that junior course is the equivalent of the first class most students take in college, which is COM 101. So that should give you an idea about what that level difference is going to be at about the halfway point of high school for honors versus academic. The last English topic I have for placement is extended. So for students that come into high school and the teacher's assessment of their reading and writing skills is that they'll need a little extra support in their English class in order to do academic level work. We want everyone as much as possible to do academic level work because most of our students do see college, or at least in part, in their future. So we want them to be ready. So extended is academic English, but instead of a study hall across from their lunch, they'll be with their English teacher for an additional half period each day. And that will provide them with that routine, regular support, reteaching, one-on-one tutoring, and previewing new material as they move through the school year. Some students, and Ms. Ladiak is going to talk about this, also have extended math. So for students who have both classes, those two half periods together will take the place of an elective in their first year. Kids will have plenty of time as they move through high school to take electives. But because these two subjects are 4-year requirements and 3 years respectively, we put the support in at the front end so that they can have success moving through our curriculum. With that, let me switch to math. Ms. Ladiak, take it away.
All right. Hello, my name is Kelly Ladiak. I am the Math and Business Division Chair here at Andrew. Today we're going to talk more about math placement criteria, the courses offered, and the differences between our honors, academic, and extended programs. As Ms. McCarthy described, this year we did not use the PSAT 8-9 as a placement assessment, nor did we have access to the MAP scores that you may have from your child's middle school. The placements for your math courses this year were based on conversations and recommendations from their 8th grade math teacher. So those recommendations were made, and that's what you would find on your placement letters. As you can see, we do offer a few levels of math for your freshmen to take. Most frequently, you'll find that your child was placed into Honors Math 1, Academic Math 1, or Extended Academic Math 1. We do offer Instructional Math 1 and Co-Taught Academic Math 1, and as Ms. McCarthy described earlier, those are offered based on IEP requirements, and if you have further questions regarding those courses, you would reach out to our Special Services Department Chair, Cheryl Russell. So the first thing that we want to dig a little bit deeper into is the differences between Academic and Honors Math 1. Just similar to English, if you're in the Honors program, you're going to be experiencing additional curriculum, as well as curriculum that is at a deeper level. So you'll do a lot more extension activities and independent synthesis. You will study material on the same topics, so you can see that those different modules are outlined on this slide. But in addition, in the Honors program, you will also start delving into some Math 2 topics as an Honors Math 1 student, including quadratic functions. As a result of these additional modules and the depth that you will get to in the Honors program, those students in Honors Math 1 will be working at a much accelerated pace. Speaking about the qualities and skills of those students in Academic and Honors Math 1, what you'll find is that our students who are in the academic program and successfully complete their 3 years of requirements typically end up taking a 4th year math, which is an elective at that point, that many colleges look for students to take. With successful completion of the academic math program in their freshman through junior year, they would be prepared to take a course their senior year that would prepare them for college. The difference between academic and honors is that those honors students would be gearing up to take AP Calculus by their senior year. And there are many benefits to AP that, if you have further questions on, we'd be happy to answer. There's a few other differences you'll find between our students in the academic and honors programs, most of which has to deal with their ability to navigate multi-step versus single or double-step questions without the intervention of a teacher's assistance, and students' ability to connect prerequisite knowledge with the current learning. The last topic that I want to talk about today is our Extended Math 1 program, which Ms. McCarthy explained for Extended English. And so just like in Extended English, Extended Math is a half period that your child would take opposite of their lunch, or in the case of students who are in Extended English and Math, they would take back to back in place of an elective course their freshman year. Extended Math is an opportunity to work with the same teacher that your child has for their academic math period. and they would work with them on a number of items, including prerequisite skills, intervention techniques for the material that they are working on, extending a lesson, and in addition to that, the teachers in those courses also help support students in doing school, so staying focused, organized, and prepared for success. So with all that in mind, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Holt in the science department.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mr. Holt. I work with science, family consumer science, and technology engineering education. A lot of the information has already kind of been discussed when we take a look at characteristics of students between our academic and honors students, and that carries over into the sciences as well. With our science classes, we have two options. We have our academic biology and our honors biology. Both of these courses are college preparatory courses. There are obviously some differences that are going to be between those two different classes. When we take a look at our honors level class, basically what we are looking at here is we're including the same life science topics in both our academic and our honors level classes. The big difference is the depth that we are going to be going into. So we will be moving at a faster pace, but we also are going to be going into more detail in some of these different topics that academic biology may not be quite getting into. So, as previously mentioned, our honors level students are usually stronger independent learners, ability to motivate themselves and work independently. And they've also, for the most part, been students that are demonstrating stronger executive functioning skills as well, our time management, our organizational skills, those sorts of things. Both of these programs will lead to opportunities for your students junior or senior year for a variety of different AP courses, if that may be something that they are interested in pursuing later on down the road. Next up, we have Dr. Kaufman, who will be discussing some information with all of you with regards to the social sciences as well as world languages.
Thank you, Mr. Holt. First of all, welcome to Andrew High School. My name is Dr. Kaufman. I am the department chair or division chair for social studies, world languages, and art. With social studies, a lot of the same traits hold true as in English, math, and science in terms of academic and honors and even the differences between them. What you will see that's a little bit different with social studies is that we actually offer a third level, an advanced placement level, which means that it's a college level program. And there's a couple more choices within that program for your son or daughter to take. So can you go to the next slide, Mr. Holt? Like I said, the differences between the two are very similar to, especially to English. We expect the students to be good writers, have some of those skills, a little bit stronger with the critical thinking, maybe the reading comprehension a little bit stronger. But with our academic and honors global issues classes, they're very similar in the sense that they will cover the same topics. Both of them will start with resource allocation. We'll have uneven economic development, human rights, conflict, similar topics, but the difference is the depth in which you go into those topics or the expectations for students when they're being assessed on those topics. Honors level students, the expectation is that they'll have maybe a little bit stronger examples, maybe some of their analysis or the connections that they're making might be a little bit more solid as well. So that would be the academic and honors level of global issues. Honors, once again, will prepare your student for AP. Honors is only available at Andrew High School freshman year. Sophomore year through senior year, it's academic or it's AP. So honors will prepare your son or daughter for the AP level. So with AP Social Studies, this is a college level course that your son or daughter could possibly be taking as a freshman at high school. Now, when AP created these courses, they did create it knowing that this would be taken by freshmen and sophomores in high school. So there are some things built in. There's some supports built in. There's some expectations of development. The teachers that teach this program do a very good job of moving the students along, understanding that they're freshmen, understanding that they're going to have some struggles because of the speed and the depth of some of the material, but they've done a really good job of working with them for that. In an AP course, students at the end of the year can choose to take an AP exam, and if they do well enough on that exam, they can actually earn college credit. In fact, as of 3 or 4 years ago, if they earn a 3, 4, or a 5 on that test, public universities in the state of Illinois must give them credit for that class. Sometimes they'll give them credit for that actual class. Sometimes it's elective credit, but they will get credit in a public university, which obviously as a parent would save you quite a bit of money. Students that like this class are kids who are self-motivated, kids that like the material, kids that like having really in-depth conversations, like looking at both sides of things, comparing and contrasting. But kids that are successful are also kids who maintain the amount of reading that they have. They maintain the activities to make sure that they don't get too far behind, because it is a class that goes faster than most other classes. So if you get behind, it could really kind of come back and hurt you a little bit at the end. But most of our students do a really good job in this program. And like I said, the teachers support them quite well. As the department chair of world languages, we offer 4 languages at the school. We offer Latin, French, German, and Spanish. However, the only one of those 4 languages that any of our feeder schools use would be that give it the 7th or 8th grade level would be Spanish. So we do have some students that, because they've taken Spanish for a year or 2, would like to start in Spanish 2 or 2 honors, or maybe even higher. Traditionally, up until this year, we would have offered a test that we would have given your son or daughter, and that would have given us a good idea of where their skills are at. We don't have the ability to do that test this year, so we have actually asked the 8th grade teachers to give us a recommendation. Most of you that are in the feeder schools that have this have actually gotten an email from my secretary telling you what level you'd be in. But if you did not get that letter and you feel that your son or daughter can do something and start above level 1, please contact me later this week or early next week, and we will find some sort of a way to do a phone interview, a phone test to check the skills of your son or daughter, just to make sure that it's appropriate for them to move to Spanish 2, so they're in the most accurate placement that we can give them. So at this point, I would like to actually turn it back over to Mrs. McCarthy, who's going to talk a little bit about what you're going to do if you're questioning the placement of your student.
Thanks, Dr. Kaufman. So we appreciate you sticking with us so far and hope you're finding this information helpful to you. So if you have a question or a request for a change to any of your students' placements, the best way to reach us would be to use this bit.ly, which will link you to a form, a Google form, and you can use that form for any one of us. It'll ask you which subject you are asking a question or making a request about, and for some brief information for how to contact you. Our goal is to contact you then within 48 hours of that request coming into the form, and to have those ready as you move into the registration appointments, so that any changes we're going to make are in place for you when you get to that appointment. If you'd prefer to call or to email us, all of our contact information is in the registration materials you receive. So the same materials that include your placement should include our contact information. So definitely feel free to write us or to call us if that works better for you. And again, our goal is to get right back to you so we can resolve your questions or your requests prior to registration. With this, we now conclude our presentation for you. We hope this information is valuable, and we hope you'll reach out if you need anything further. Again, welcome to the class of 2025, and thanks for watching.